Can I get a few rips for those who did not want Synergy Evolution in Sun and Moon? Can I also get a few rips for those people who did not want to see anything to do with Pokemon Fusion? Yeah, I'm gonna need a couple of them too. Just rip down in the comments. What's going on, everyone in the Jason Nation? My name is Jason, and welcome to another Sun and Moon theory video. Today, a bunch of new information is dropped for Sun and Moon, and it leaves us Pokemon fans really hyped because there's so much to talk about. But the main thing that I'm going to be focusing on in this video particularly is something that some of you may have actually missed on your first run through the trailer. As you can see, at some point when they show off the main protagonist in the game, you actually can see on their wrist, similar to a Mega Stone, they've got what looks like to be a Burst Heart Crystal, which is what they're referred to in the manga, or it looks like some kind of crystal. I'm not gonna call it that, but let's compare it to what this could possibly be. So first of all, as we know in X and Y, something similar existed to this, and that was called Mega Evolution, where the characters could wear a Mega Bracelet, and when they wanted to Mega Evolve their Pokemon, they would just hold it down on their bracelet, hold their two fingers down, do that thing, and then they would sync their energy with their Pokemon, and then they would Mega Evolve, and that's what it comes down to. And what Mega Evolution realistically only is just making your Pokemon more powerful, but gives them a new form, sort of. They don't look massively different, but they look pretty different to the point where you can tell they're a more powerful, more hyped up form of whatever you just Mega Evolved. Now let's take a look at something interesting here. This is something that a lot of you may not have caught actually, and I'm surprised so little people actually realize this. So you remember that game that came out a couple months ago? Poken Tournament? That game introduced the idea of allowing Pokemon who did not already have a Mega Evolution to technically Mega Evolve, if you want to call it that. Take Machamp as an example. He's one of the fighters at Poken Tournament that does not have a Mega Evolution, but he does have a Synergy Burst evolution. And what that is basically is it's a more powerful version of Machamp. He's able to power up similar to how Garchomp, when you use his Synergy Burst, he Mega Evolves and becomes more powerful. Or with various other characters, they Mega Evolve and become more powerful. But with the Pokemon that do not already have a Mega Evolution, such as Machamp, he becomes red and it looks a little bit stronger and much more angry. And you can tell that he's probably a lot more powerful in that form. And what that's caused by is a Synergy Crystal that is used by the trainer. And actually somewhere along the lines, they describe that in Poken, the trainer and the Pokemon bond together during the Synergy Burst, and it allows them to sort of work together as one. And what's interesting about that is that's the exact same concept as Ash Greninja. And with that being said, with that being Ash Greninja being part of the whole picture now, does that mean we'll be seeing similar stuff to Ash Greninja within Sun and Moon like I previously have predicted? And what I think is interesting as well as something to note is that if we are able to actually fuse with our Pokemon, this makes sense based on how you can now see your trainer in battle. So it would make more sense that if we actually like in some way fuse with our Pokemon or our energy becomes one, the two sprites of your Pokemon and your character may become like on the screen at once, and then they fuse together or something like that during some like evolution cutscene, I don't really know, and then they fuse together or something like that. Or I might be thinking too far into things, but let's take a look at something here, okay? Let's take a clear look at this crystal that's on the wrist of the guy player. You can't see it on the girls, but you can definitely see it on the guy's wrist. Now let's take a close look at this. This looks like a small little pocket-sized gem. If so, it's very tiny, but you can clearly tell that it serves a similar purpose to that of Mega Evolution because it looks extremely similar to a Mega Bracelet. So now let's go ahead and look up what a Burst Heart is. Burst Heart is a small pocket-sized jewel that actually holds a Pokemon inside of it. So inside this crystal itself is literally a tiny little Pokemon, and the power of it is sealed inside this crystal. So its power that can be used by anyone wishing to fuse with it can use it. More or less, this crystal may not be openable, but the energy from it may be usable within battle, and it may have to do with fusing your Pokemon together, because as you go more along to read on it, you can even see some drawings here from the manga itself, or the manga, excuse me, and you can see it shows a trainer being fused with the Pokemon that's inside of the Burst Crystal. So all this stuff that we can possibly look up, or possibly compare this crystal to, the two things in the Pokemon world that already look like it, this little crystal sized thing, both Synergy Evolution and Burst Evolution, which are essentially the same exact thing. That's what you're looking at. So does that mean that there's no more Mega Evolution in in Sun and Moon? I don't know actually. That's pretty interesting to think about though. But what's even more interesting about that is the fact that today I'm also going to be uploading another video about Sun and Moon that you should totally check out. It's on screen right now. It's a big theory about Sun and Moon, about some stuff you may have missed, and it will become very, 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 very important later on in the day. Don't forget to check that out. It's going to be freaking awesome. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this little like breakdown analysis of the new trailer, sort of a theory, but I think it's safe to say, I don't know if it's unfortunately, but we're going to be getting synergy evolution of some sort, or burst evolution, which will involve fusion between the Pokemon and the trainer. In what way that symbolizes whether we physically actually fuse together, or it's just like our souls or our bond fuse together, similar to the way they do it in Poken tournament, which would mean that technically every Pokemon now that has a third evolution or like a final form can get a synergy evolution and get a little bit more powerful and become more powerful from the energy inside of that crystal. So more or less it works as a universal Mega Stone in a way for those who don't already have a Mega Stone. So don't be too sad by this, because I mean this will technically mean that basically any Pokemon can pretty much get a Mega Evolution. That's not confirmed by any means, that's just a theory, but that pretty much seems like what the case could be to me. But if that's not, then I don't know what's gonna happen. But let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section. I'd love to hear more about it, and let me know, are you hyped for synergy evolution in Pokemon Sun and Moon, or would you prefer we go back to the classic Mega Evolutions? You guys let me know, and with that, I'll see you dudes in the next one.